Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Unfiltered Feed podcast. And we are in our 10th episode.
Oh, nice.
So, this was my little addition. So, I've got my co host minus 10,000 grams, aka Yash. So, how are you doing?
Doing great. Uh, it's been a nice week for me. I hope it was the same for you.
Yeah, it went very quickly
Yeah.
and it was good.
So, for the audience who don't understand this reference, minus 10,000 grams. This was from a story by Abhishek Nair, which he posted, I think, 3 days back. And it was a selfie with Rohit Sharma. And this text, it's basically telling everybody that Rohit Sharma is training very hard for this ODI comeback of his in 3 weeks' time. He's already lost 10 kg supposedly, and he looks fitter. Obviously, I saw a few training videos, so I hope he's gonna rock once he comes back.
Yeah, all we can do is hope. So, I think just from that reference, we can move into the theme of our episode. 10th episode is a very special number. So we have decided to dedicate it to our most popular topic, which is cricket. So as you have read in the title and the thumbnail, this is a cricket special episode.
Yeah. So we decided to focus on one topic or maximum two in each episode because that gives us some time to actually talk about the nitty gritties of that topic. In a podcast where we have to cover 8 or 9 topics, each topic gets very less time and you have to just skim over it quickly and not really go into the details. So this one specifically is more about cricket, and we have three main talking points. The first one is about the Asia Cup, which is going on right now, and at the time of recording, it's one day to the final. The next topic is about Ashwin, R. Ashwin, who recently retired from IPL as well as international cricket, and what is up to nowadays. We'll talk about that. And finally, we'll talk about the upcoming India versus West Indies series and discuss the squad that the Indian team released recently. So I'll give you my opinions and Ved will share his as well.
Yes, so it promises to be a very entertaining episode. So let us straight away dive in and start with Asia Cup.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
let
been
me.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just give a bit of context.
Okay.
It's been a bit of a boring tournament, if you ask me, because of the difference in quality of the teams. And we have hardly had any close games. I think the last game, which was India versus Sri Lanka, was the only real nail biting game. So it makes sense to review it, but I think I've seen better Asia Cups before.
Yeah, that's true. Especially the T20 format or even ODIs now. India is so ahead of all the Asian countries that it's very difficult for them to have a good fight against India. But the basic format of this section will be we both will discuss about a few different things, and then based on that, we'll also talk about the different teams that played and how the Asia Cup went for them. Obviously, Ved has followed other teams' matches as well. I used to mostly watch Indian games or follow India's games. So my analysis or my opinions will be towards India, whereas Ved will cover other teams as well. So
Yeah, so we can just go with in each category. You give the best Indian player, and I'll give the other than India player.
yeah, most of mine are Indian, but I may have someone from other country. But we'll see how that goes. So let's start with the first major, or let's the first subtopic of this section. Let's say. So who, according to you, was the best batter in this Asia Cup?
Uh, I think hands down, just one name comes to my mind, which is Abhishek Sharma. Not just the hitting, which he has always had, but what he's done really well this time is the consistency. It's really hard to pair that kind of hitting with that kind of consistency. So I think it's just been an unbelievable campaign. I think he's never fallen for under 30. That's his lowest score, and that too while chasing 57 versus UAE. So quite a brilliant campaign. So for me, he's the best batter.
Yeah, for me as well. It's hands down Abhishek Sharma. I think I saw a stat where his average is more than 50. It's 51, and his strike rate is more than 200. It's 204. So, as you mentioned, that duo is very difficult for anyone to bring for several games in a row. I think he's played 4 or 5 games in this Asia Cup, and he's delivered in almost all of them. And the funny part is, whenever he plays, he makes the pitch look very easy. And once he's dismissed, you see how much the others are struggling. Obviously, it's because he's batting at the top, so he gets the best new ball. But still, the difference is huge. So I think in tomorrow's final, he'll be very important. We need him to score those early, quick fire 40 50 runs in the power play, and then hopefully he can carry the innings from there. But any other standout batters aside from Abhishek?
Yeah, I think Patum Nisanka, he was really good, and I've been following him for quite a while. He has hit a all format peak, which is very interesting to see and very exciting because of the rarity of that as well. It's rarer than you think when a batter is at the top of his game in all three formats at the same time. Patum Nisanka, he's had a brilliant campaign, got a couple of good scores at the start, and then obviously capped it off with 100 versus India and almost a match-winning 100. So, and the thing with him is he has got class, but his strike rates are also pretty good. That is what the focus is in the T20 game. So it's good to see someone from Sri Lanka, which is not known for the power hitting or high strike rates, just someone come up and deliver.
Yeah, that's true. Let's move to the next category. It's the best bowler in this tournament. And from what I've seen, I think for me it has to be Kuldeep Yadav. Because right from the first match, he kept getting 3 or 2, at least 2 wickets in every single game. And every time I thought that, oh, the opposition is trying to score big runs, he would come and pick a wicket or two and completely derail the opposition's campaign. I think versus Hong Kong he picked a 4 if I'm not wrong, and then against Pakistan in the first game as well he picked 3 wickets, and he's been doing that for the entire tournament. I think he's picked 12 wickets in 5 games, so that's a big achievement for him. So for me it's Kuldeep. Obviously most spinners tend to do well in these conditions, but again he's very consistent, so it has to be him for me.
Yeah, Kuldeep Yadav, he just loves Asia Cups from what I've seen. Even the last one, which was the ODI one, he got a 5-4 versus 4-4 versus both Pakistan and Sri Lanka. And again over here, he's been consistently taking wickets. I think that's his strength, not just containing the batters, which I think Varun Chakravarti does more for the team. He's just a genuine wicket taker, which is very important again in these conditions because batters, if they get set, they can hit. So you need someone to contain and someone to pick wickets, and he's done it really well. So he's been the best bowler. You might be thinking that we are two Indians here, so we'll obviously choose Indian names. But even if you keep the bias aside, you have to admire that the Indian team has got so much talent.
Yeah, so far it's the same players for both of us. For viewers, I did send him a message to pick someone else, but as he said, there's no one else who's as good as these two players from India.
And if I had to really pick someone else, I think someone who's gone under the radar but has delivered is Abrar Ahmed from Pakistan. Hasn't really picked wickets in bulk like Kuldeep, but if you see day in day out, he just comes and delivers. Quiet spells, batters are just unable to read his mystery. So they try and play defensive against him. So he doesn't end up picking wickets, but he's been very good. So watch out for him in the final.
Yeah, and another shout out to Saim Ayub. The sad thing is he's an opening batsman, so he shouldn't be doing well with the ball. But he has. He picked three versus India, and I think
Yeah,
recently as well he picked three again.
he's picked 8 in the tournament, which is incredible for an opener.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move to the next category, and I think this should have differing opinions, hopefully. Although you did hint towards your favorite game. Let's talk about the best match in this Asia Cup. I think the obvious answer has to be India versus Sri Lanka because it went to a super over. But I didn't watch that game fully, so I don't know how good of a game it was up until that super over. So for me, in terms of the best game, I think it will be the Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh Super 4 because there was so much tension within the Bangladesh players who were chasing and they almost fumbled. At the end, they lost, I think, a couple of wickets in the last over and they were almost going to throw it and maybe go to a super over, but they managed to cross the line. So that last few overs was really interesting to watch. Although India wasn't playing, so that match for the last few overs was a good match for me.
Yeah, so to be honest, even I didn't watch the India Sri Lanka game apart from the super over. So, uh, but I did catch up on the highlights. But the game you mentioned, that too was a proper uh, contemporary Asia Cup thriller, as we have been seeing. The games that we expected more of, to be honest. But yeah, that was a good pick.
What's your pick?
I think I'd stick to my India versus Sri Lanka choice, but I hope that we get a better game tomorrow because a tournament like this deserves a thrilling India versus Pakistan game, keeping politics aside, of course.
But would you really want to go into a super over? I think as an Indian fan, I would like to have the game finished and India winning convincingly. But as a neutral, obviously, we
Yeah,
would want a thrilling final.
yeah man, Asko win the man, and you want the tight game.
Yeah, in West Indies, you shouldn't talk because you lost to Nepal today. Let's leave that aside. Coming back to the Asia Cup, now let's move to the next category. The biggest surprise, and this is open, it's not just a team or a player, it could be anything. Even the conditions could be a surprise. So, I think you can go ahead first for this. What was your biggest surprise in this Asia Cup? I
And the,
one thing that I don't want you to say is the difference in quality between India and the other teams because that's not a surprise. You knew that.
yeah, so that is not a surprise. A lot of surprises, but for me, the biggest surprise was Afghanistan not making it out of the group. I genuinely thought they had a shot at making the finals and even competing, but they just looked like they didn't belong here, which is very surprising. Considering Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, you admit that it's a tougher group, but I mean Afghanistan, they've played the World Cup semi-finals and they've competed against bigger teams. So I just don't understand why they continue to fumble easier games at the Asia Cup. So that was really surprising.
That's a very fair point. But again, I think even last time it was the same group, and I think even last time Afghanistan didn't make it through, if I'm not wrong. But again, that was ODI. But I think they should change these groups around. They should maybe have Afghanistan get a just Sri Lanka and two easy opponents so that we can have them move ahead. But yeah, that's a good pick. For me, the biggest surprise was once again Abhishek Sharma because before this tournament, the opinion that I had of him was that he was a blind slogger, and I saw that in the IPL as well. He would just go after bowlers, and in that process, let's say out of 5 innings, in one innings he would score big runs, like a 80, 90, or even 100. But in the four other innings, he would get out cheaply, and often it would be very embarrassing for himself the way he got out. So I always thought that he was just a blind slogger, but in this tournament, as I've watched him bat, I've understood that he actually is very smart and he takes calculated risks. Especially the game against Sri Lanka yesterday. I was watching his innings ball by ball, and the way he just kept scoring runs without taking any risks, it was really good to see. And a lot of commentators and cricket experts have been saying that he has this attitude where if the ball is in his slot, he will go after it. But if the ball is not in his slot, then he's happy to take a single. So I saw that yesterday in the game. So it impressed me a lot. He gives me vibes of Virender Sehwag, who was also known for his aggression, but at the same time calculated aggression. Abhishek Sharma for me is a surprise. I didn't know he was this good, so I'm hoping he can keep playing like this for years to come and eventually even move into ODIs. Maybe not tests, but ODIs.
Yeah, he's got age on his side, and I think I was really happy for him because he's clearly worked on his weaknesses. He had a relatively quiet IPL, so he worked with Yuvraj Singh. It's good to see the results showing as immediately as like a couple of months of practice. So he's been good, yeah.
Yeah. Now let's go to the next category, which is not so good, but let's talk about it. The biggest disappointment for you, and this again could be anything, not just a player or a team. I think I'll go first for this. And my biggest disappointment was the. It happened before the Asia Cup actually. It was the Indian batting lineup. And I knew that this would happen the moment they announced Shubman Gill as the vice captain. And I feel really sad for Sanju Samson, who hasn't done anything wrong. He scored so many centuries, I think two consecutive in South Africa. Since then, I think he had one bad series, but in general, him and Abhishek they've had really good opening stands for India. So having him move down, and not even at number three, they're playing out number 8 and number 6 now. So it's a joke. I feel they didn't have to do this. Shubman Gill can just be in the ODIs and tests. He's a very capable player, and he can play T20 cricket in the IPL. He's obviously leading Gujarat, so he can have that fun over there. But bringing him over to replace Samson and move him down was not the best idea. I think Samson will retire eventually in the next 3-4 years, and I think that's when they could have thought of bringing Shubman Gill on. This now completely ruins it for Samson because people are now demanding for him to be dropped and replacing him with Jitesh. And while it's fair because Jitesh is the better finisher, Samson didn't deserve this. I think he should have stayed as the first choice opener, and I think it was very unfortunate and unfair on him. So I'm very sad with that.
Yeah, that was a. I could see the uh, temptation to get Gill in. He's been in good form and he could complement Abhishek well, but they uh, like indirectly they replaced Rinku Singh with Shubman Gill, but in between Sanju Samson got trapped because you obviously can't play Gill at 6. Sanju Samson just seems like a pushover, uh,
Yeah.
and maybe he too must have agreed because otherwise it would have been very difficult because he'd rather play in the team than just sit out. So I think just worked in Gill's favor, and but to be honest, he didn't deliver what was expected of him in this tournament, in which so much a modification and twisting and turning of the batting order, I was expecting a better performance. Hopefully, he saved his best for tomorrow.
That's the only thing we can hope. What was your biggest disappointment?
I'd like to bring my focus to a particular opener, but from Pakistan, Saim Ayub. Uh, I was fully convinced that he was ready for this big tournament and he was going to light it up, but got 4 ducks in 6 games. Uh, it happens, but I expected at least one big innings other than the ducks. But he just looked like he didn't belong, which was very disappointing for me. His mode of dismissals, he was bowled by Hasaranga once. Obviously, the 4 ducks are, uh, it can happen to anyone, but the dismissals were more disappointing.
Yeah, that's true. And I think going into this Asia Cup, one of their management members had said that Saim Ayub has the ability to hit 6 sixes to Jasprit Bumrah. And in the first game, I think he got out of the first ball. Hardik Pandya was bowling and he was caught ironically by Jasprit Bumrah. So it didn't start off well, but as you said, he just kept falling for ducks. So I hope he plays well tomorrow. That's obviously something you want to see, but not too good, hopefully.
Yeah, he's someone who can on his day just single-handedly win you a game. So it's worth taking the punt. They have moved him down the order and given Fakhar Zaman the opening slot. So I don't know if that has worked either, but it's better than getting him out of the side.
Yeah, and he's chipping in with the wickets, so he's at least doing something.
Yeah,
But yeah, I hope he does well for Pakistan cricket. They need him. Now let's move to the final category of this topic. It's the best team. And I think let's not call it the best team. You'd probably call it the most standout team or the team that impressed you the most. Because the best team we all know, it's India, who are head and shoulders above everybody else. But which team impressed you the most in this Asia Cup?
to be brutally honest, I think every team in some way has underperformed big time, and I am including India in that list as well. Uh, I expected there to be competition, and there was competition at times, but at a very lower level than what I expected. The quality of cricket hasn't really been good in this tournament. We have seen fielding blunders, we have seen just random, ridiculous shot choices, and it's even the umpiring hasn't been up to the standard. So, uh, every team in some way has underperformed, but I'd still say the best or the team that looked good to me was India because others you expected they played somewhat expected cricket, but the last T20 Asia Cup and this, the only team that has just blasted out to a different level is India. The others have kind of been in the same place,
Yeah,
so that's why I'd say India.
yeah, that's a very fair assessment. I think in the last T20 Asia Cup, we didn't even make it to the finals, and now we've not lost a single game, so that's huge. I think every team has impressed me in certain sections, but if let's say the batting has impressed, then the bowling hasn't really done well. So I think I was quite impressed with the Bangladeshi batting. I didn't watch a lot of games, but I watched their game against India and then against Sri Lanka. Against Sri Lanka, especially, they were chasing a pretty good total. I think that was their highest chase ever, or the third highest chase in their history. So the ability to keep their nerves cool and at the end finish it off, that was quite impressive. And even against India, at one point, they were in it to chase. But then obviously, once the spinners came on, it became tough. But I think the left-handed player that they have, I forgot his name, but he was. I saw he smashed a six of Jasprit Bumrah, and that was quite impressive.
Parvez Hossain Imon.
Imon, yeah, that's correct. So I think the batting at least, and their bowling has obviously a lot of experience. So Bangladesh, I think they did underperform, but at the same time they impressed me a bit as well.
Yeah, the bowling is actually very exciting. You've got all kinds of pacers and a good variety of spinners as well. Of course, Nahid Rana is one of their best, and he's been out with an injury. Otherwise, it would have been a better bowling performance.
Yeah, that's true. So with that, we've come to the end of this section. But before leaving, there's one last question, and this is about the final. What do you think? What will happen in tomorrow's final?
Uh, I think it's going to be a Indian victory. Uh, I don't think Pakistan can really win. They'll have their moments, but I still feel that it's too big a task to actually play well for 40 overs and beat India, because you have to constantly be up there. You've seen it in the tournament that there are teams that play well, but even if they play well for 5 overs, it feels good, but it's not enough because India
Yeah,
just are at you at all times, and one mistake and you're out. So
correct.
that's been India's strength. So I think that's what will happen tomorrow. You will feel at some point that Pakistan might win, but it's hard to sustain that versus this Indian team.
Yeah, that's true. However, at the same time, I strongly believe that India, if they play 10 games, India would beat Pakistan 9 times. But that one game can, it's very dangerous. And Pakistan, they have nothing to lose. They've already lost twice against India. So they are going to be extremely fearless. And they'll come all out against India. And the interesting thing is that this Indian team, especially the batting, this is the first high pressure knockout final that they're playing. Because the last time we had the likes of Rohit, Virat, Jadeja, Akshar, all of them. So players like Abhishek, uh, Tilak Verma, Shivam Dubey as well. All these guys are playing their first high pressure India Pakistan game. So if you're batting first and if these guys get dismissed early, then there could be some pressure. But most likely India should win, but I cannot rule out Pakistan in a final where they have nothing to lose.
Yeah, I've seen a stat that in India versus Pakistan multi-nation finals, the record is at 7-2 currently with Pakistan,
Oh,
and the only two that we have won is one in 1987, some cup, and in the 2007 T20 World Cup final. So it's
yeah.
heavily against us, but I think it'll become 7-3.
To be fair, I don't think. When was the last time we played them after the Champions Trophy? Was that the last time?
Yeah, that was the last final.
Yeah, so we haven't played a lot. This is also the first time in Asia Cup history that it's an India Pakistan finals. It will be exciting, but I'm giving India 80% of a chance to win. But I cannot rule out Pakistan. So, with that, we have come to the end of this first section. This was, I would say, medium in terms of length. The next section could be similar, and then the last one is pretty small. So we should be done in an hour, hopefully. So, the next talking point for today is the India versus West Indies series that's coming up. The first test is on October 2nd in Ahmedabad, and the second one is in Delhi from October 10th onwards. Just a quick WTC update. Australia is currently number one with 100% points. How many games have they played in this cycle?
I just played one series, if I'm not wrong, versus West Indies.
Okay. So they whitewashed them. In number two, surprisingly, it's Sri Lanka with 66.67. So they must have won 2 out of 3 games. And at number three, we have India at 46.67%. So if they need to win both of these games to get into the top two. and they recently announced the squad. So I'll quickly mention all the 15 players. So we have Gill, Jaiswal, Sai Sudarshan, KL Rahul, Devdutt Padikkal, Narayan Jagdishan, Dhruv Jurel, Nitish Reddy, Ravindra Jadeja, Washington Sundar, Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav, Mohammad Siraj, Jasprit Bumrah, and Prasidh Krishna. The big changes are that they've made Jadeja the vice captain now in the absence of Rishabh Pant, who is injured. Main players who have been dropped from the England squad are Karun Nair, Arshdeep Singh, Akashdeep, who is injured, I believe, and Pant is also injured. And replacing these guys are Akshar Patel, Devdutt Padikkal, and Narayan Jagdishan. So, what are your first thoughts on this squad and the changes that they have made?
I think it was more or less an expected squad that they've released. No real surprises there. And I'm saying this whilst knowing that Karun Nair is out. I think this is the best 15 players that we have in the test setup right now. Uh, of course, Rishabh Pant will be a huge miss,
Yeah,
not just for the team. I think the team will handle it, but for him himself, because he's been very good at home and he's played a lot of tough series in his career, so he deserves some of the easier ones as well,
yeah,
which has been miraculously missing in the past, and he continues that run. So I'm just sad for him.
yeah, and I think he's now just a one format player in India because he's nowhere near the T20 setup. And even in ODIs, I think they prefer KL Rahul keeping the wicket. So Pant only plays tests, so when he misses out, it's bad. Let's talk about the key questions. I had four key questions to discuss for this podcast. The first one, you gave a hint already. They've dropped Karun Nair after just one series. Obviously, it wasn't the best for him. He scored only 205 runs in 8 innings, but he scored 150 in the last test, the first innings of that. He was the highest scorer for the team in that innings. And he recently said, after being dropped, that that 50 meant as much as 100 for the team in that situation. So, do you think his opinion is justified, and do you think they should have given him a chance?
I think it was a bit sad to see him getting dropped after one series, but uh, to be very honest, you had like, they gave him 4 games in that series, which had I think probably one of the flattest wickets that India have played a series in a long, long time. And also England's bowling wasn't the strongest. You had Archer play just 2 games and no Anderson as well. So it was to uh, to put it straight, it was easy batting conditions. So and everyone else scored. So I don't see any point in talking about his performance there because 205 runs in 8 innings, uh, well below par. But yeah, you did mention that he deserved a chance at home as well. But I would say that it's the like easy series like these. No offense to the West Indian team, but easy series like these are like a good opportunity to get the youngsters in and give them chance to get settled into the team rather than giving someone else another chance who's more than likely to be dropped anyways. So I thought that was the thinking behind getting Padikkal in. So I'm not against the selector's decision.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I did want him to get a chance in home because these are conditions that he knows really well. Uh, I feel if it was someone else, uh, like let's say Pujara or Rahane or even Kohli making a comeback, Kohli wouldn't do this, but hypothetically, if it was a player of that stature, they would have definitely gotten a second chance. But just because it's Karun Nair and he's come back after so many years and he's, I think, older than what they want, they just gave him one chance because they had to, because he scored so many runs in Ranji Trophy and Vijay Hazare. So they couldn't drop him. That wouldn't. It would be very bad for the selectors. So they had to give him a chance. And the moment he didn't play well, they took that as the first opportunity and dropped him. So I understand the reason behind it, but I feel they should have given him one more chance at home. Uh, you can maybe even tell him that this is going to be a last series, unless you like do something miraculous, score a triple century or something like that. But dropping him after England tour away, it's a bit unfair. But I do understand their point of view as well. Okay, so now the second talking point for this is, why is Jasprit Bumrah in the squad? I was surprised because when we went to England, they said in advance that he'll play only 3 matches. And I'm pretty sure the England tour was a lot more important than this West Indies tour. So now, if he needs rest, he's already playing Asia Cup. So why do you want to overexert him now? Potentially have him out for a few important series that are coming in the future. I don't understand this logic.
Yeah, so that is a very valid question, which I would like to ask as well, because uh, there's no need
Yeah,
for him to play in this series and let alone be in the squad. But as Ajit Agarkar said, he's ready to play both the test matches, which is
yeah,
an overkill. Uh, we have seen him under the previous regime not even play a single home test for 4 years, and he missed out on the England series Border Gavaskar Trophy at home. They just didn't consider him for home test because they had enough other resources and they could also manage his workload that way. So I can see that Bumrah being eager to play because obviously even he would like to get up there in the stats because he has missed quite a few test matches. But then I think it should be a precedent set by the team that he uh, gives preference to test cricket and then takes rest from T20s and ODIs. But if he's also going to play the Asia Cup and then with just a rest of 3 days in between play the test match, I don't think that's ideal for his body.
yeah. And the bigger question is, I think India is playing a ODI series against Australia, and I think he'll be more valuable over there. So will he play that series as well? And if that's the case, then he'll be playing cricket continuously for around 2 months.
Yeah, and then when that ends, there's also a home series versus South Africa. So
Yeah,
that would be too much for him.
exactly. So he'll play the two tests against West Indies, but then rest against South Africa. That doesn't make sense. I just hope this is not Jasprit Bumrah trying to show the critics that he does value Indian cricket and he is fit enough. Because there was a mention that I think someone asked him who's the fittest player in Indian cricket, and he got a bit upset and he said that it's me. I know what you're looking for, but I should say myself. I've been playing for so many years and all that. So I hope he's not trying to prove a point by doing this.
Yeah, one more injury to his back, and that's potentially the end of his career. So you'd rather miss a few tests every now and then rather than play at a stretch and then miss out at a stretch.
Correct. And I think we have options. It's not like we don't have any other fast bowlers. I think Arshdeep Singh, this was an ideal chance for him to set himself up in this Indian side, because in England, I think he didn't get a game or he got one. He's still yet to make his debut. So just like Devdutt Padikkal, Arshdeep Singh could have been picked here, but they didn't. So the next talking point that I have is about the batting order. Now that they have picked Sai Sudarshan and Padikkal, who will play at number three? And if one plays at number three, do you think the other person plays somewhere else, or are they benched?
I think Sai Sudarshan will get the preference at number three because that's where he's played most of his domestic cricket as well, and that's where he's played for India in the recent series, and he's done decently. So Padikkal could play, but with Gambhir being the coach, I don't see that happening because he'll rather have a extra bowling option, which he notoriously enjoys.
Yeah.
So I see Nitish Kumar Reddy getting the nod ahead of him, so that Reddy and Siraj are your two pacers, or see,
Bumrah as well, right?
with Bumrah. So three pacers, and you have Akshar, Kuldeep, Jadeja, Sundar.
Oh, spread, eh?
So, uh, I tried to make an 11. So if we have that segment later on, it
Yeah.
would be interesting to share
This
my
is
11.
this is that segment. So I think the batting is fairly straightforward. You'll have Rahul Jaiswal, Sudarshan Gill. That's your top four. At number five, you'll have Dhruv Jurel or Jagdishan, one of them. And then I think from then you have six
Yeah.
bowling options basically.
So Jurel at 5, and then Jadeja at 6, Akshar at 7, Reddy at 8, Kuldeep at 9, and then Siraj and Bumrah.
So you're missing out on Sundar basically.
Yeah, or you could uh, play Reddy and Bumrah as the two pacers and get Sundar in as well. It's a bit of an overkill, but that's what Gambhir likes.
Yeah, that's kind of weird because if you picked Padikkal, you should play him, but that's okay. I have a few stats from Sudarshan. In the recent India A vs Australia A series, he was the top scorer with 248 runs in just 3 innings. And Padikkal as well was good. He scored 156 runs in 3 innings. So both of them are in good form. And I think KL Rahul as well recently scored a 175, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
So,
and won them the game.
so this team, this batting unit is in form. I think the last question that I had, obviously, for you is you answered this through your playing 11. I was going to ask which of the three spinners will play. Which of the four, sorry, out of four, which three will play? And I think Sundar will have to get dropped. But you never know. They might just drop Reddy and play Sundar and just have two pacers at the end.
Yeah, yeah, that is also. Yeah, I didn't actually consider that. So you don't need Reddy if you're playing Bumrah and Siraj. So you could just play Sundar, and he's as good as Reddy with the bat, if not better.
But that then extends your tail. So you have Kuldeep, Siraj, and Bumrah. But against West Indies, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, if it comes down to them, then it's probably a problem.
Okay, the last, to wrap up this segment, the last question is what do you think the scoreline will be? Will it be anything other than a 2-0?
Yeah, I think 2-0 is what I'm looking at. I don't see anything less than 2-0. If you're even considering anything other than 2-0, Indian cricket would be in shambles by the end of the series.
Yeah,
So 2-0 it is.
yeah, same. They're playing at Ahmedabad and Delhi, I think. I think both are. Ahmedabad is, I think it's a bowling tracks sometimes, especially for spinners like Akshar. He's done well there. But Delhi, I believe, is a batting track, so our batters should enjoy. Or I'm not actually sure. Both
Yeah,
grounds could be
anything
happening.
can happen.
Yeah,
It's all in the hands of the management. They can turn the pitch to their liking.
yeah. And just a quick look at the Windy squad as well. A lot of players are pretty new for me, but you have the likes of Alzari Joseph, Jaden Seals, Roston Chase, Brandon King, Shea Hope, John Campbell, Tagner and Chandrapal. They also had Shamar Joseph, but he's I think injured, so they replaced him with Johan Lane. So and Khari Pierre as well. He's in left arm off spinner. So there is some experience, especially in the bowling department. But the batting looks very. They're highly dependent on Shea Hope and Brandon King, I think.
Yeah, this batting lineup is actually I'm more excited for the batting, but I don't think they can hold up against the spinners of India. But
Yeah.
this is a very exciting batting group for me. Alec Athanaze has been very much on the cusp of becoming a West Indian, like into the
Main
next
mainstay.
generation. Yeah, but he somehow just doesn't fulfill his potential. So I look for him there. Shai Hope has been brought back just for the India series.
Okay.
He's been out of Test cricket for quite a while, and Tevin Imlach is uh, actually a very decent player of spin. So every series you see one player from the opposition who just hangs around. I think it could be Tevin this time. And the bowling, of course, Alzari and Jaden Seals are very good. Jaden Seals is world class, but I don't think he'll get the pitches to his liking.
That's true. So that's the advantage of having someone like Ved who knows every single player from every single team. So makes my life easy. So yeah, I also think it will be a 2-0. Shouldn't be anything different. And in terms of WTC as well, these are easy points. Shouldn't drop them. There are going to be a lot tougher series. I think South Africa coming home. That's going to be a cracker. So they should get these points when it's so easy to get them. And now
Yeah,
finally, yeah, go ahead.
and India also has a very tough draw this time around
Yeah,
because they're playing away in New Zealand and Sri Lanka, which have historically been tough venues to win at. And then they have a home border Gavaskar as the sixth series. So I honestly, at the start of the cycle, I didn't see them making to the finals, but the England series has given me some hope. So I hope we win versus West Indies and South Africa without dropping a game, ideally, so that we are in a good position.
how many matches are we playing against South Africa?
Two,
Two matches, okay.
and then two in New Zealand, and I think two in Sri Lanka as well. So it's a very narrowed down test season for us.
So which means even if we drop one match, the percentage is going to get affected massively. So it's very important that we don't drop these easy points. Now moving to the last segment of this episode, it's about Ravichandran Ashwin. I'm sure you have heard a lot about him in the news these days. I think after yesterday's game between India and Sri Lanka, I saw his comment where he said that Harshit Rana must learn to bowl and his bowling is hilarious and all that. So Ashwin has already started, or the media is portraying him like this, but he's already entered his expert era and he's starting to pass all these comments like we've heard from Sehwag, Yuvraj Singh, and all of those guys.
I thought he'd take the Dinesh Karthik route, but he's gone down the other path and he's slipping very quickly. I've seen him even indulging in uh, total banter online and just doesn't suit someone like Ashwin, someone with 550 test wickets.
Yeah. So he's up to a lot of things these days. Three major things that happened pretty recently. First was that he signed up for the ILT20 auction. This is not very unique because there are 23 other Indians in the auction, but I think there's no one as big as Ravichandran Ashwin in the auction. And obviously, he has the highest base price of $120,000. So there's no one else with that high of a base salary. And I think the teams had $120,000 to choose their retentions. So he's basically worth all the retentions of a team and much more because I'm sure a lot of teams will bid for him. The auction happens on October 1st, so very soon. I think by the next episode we'll know in which team he's going to play.
Yeah, and it's funny because this is the first time that ILT20 are having an auction,
Yeah.
and that is when he's perfectly aligned to enter it.
Yeah, so that will be interesting. He's, I think, the first mainstream India player to do all this. So it's good. Other players should also do this. The second thing that he recently did was he joined Team India at the Hong Kong Sixes Championship. And this is something that I learned recently, that this tournament has been happening for years, because Ashwin, in an interview, he mentioned that he watched this tournament as a youngster on television, and it's always been a format that he wanted to be a part of, so he's very happy. And I also did some research about the format itself. It's a it's a six player team, and there are 6 overs, but each over is of 8 balls. So it's something new. I never knew this. But he'll play for India now. The captain of the side is going to be Dinesh Karthik, who also joined recently after Ashwin. So some Tamil boys representing India there.
Uh, I I knew about Hong Kong Sixes because of the stories that I've heard uh, about this tournament. It's a very interesting tournament and very like it's more or less a kind of an expanded or glorified version of backyard cricket. It's good that Ashwin is just playing in such tournaments, but then also he'll be playing in other very much
High
professional
profile
leagues at the same
leagues.
time. So it's a weird mix.
Yeah, and I think last time this tournament happened, India they had, I think Robin Uthappa was leading them, but they had players like Kedar Jadhav and I think a lot more. But India managed to not win even a single game, and they also lost against Oman. So this is something new. I think I have to watch this whenever this happens. And I think with DK and Ashwin there, I think this time India should do better.
Yeah, and if I'm not wrong, DK will also be playing in the SA20.
I think he was playing last time as well.
Yeah, with Pal Royals.
Yeah, this
So
is good.
maybe,
I think this also opens up a route for players who are not going to be picked for India. They just retire and then play all these leagues. Players like Prithvi Shaw, maybe, maybe not. Let's say.
yeah, I
So
think this is something that BCCI will look into because they don't ideally want their players to retire from their own league and go and play in other leagues. So, if too many such incidents happen, I think they might just open it up that you play in the IPL, and if you're not contracted with BCCI, and if your IPL team doesn't have a problem, then you can go and play in the other leagues.
so
And
if a player has an IPL contract, they're still not allowed to play anywhere else. I thought it was about
Indian
having a BCCI central contract.
Indian players are not allowed, and that is why Ashwin had to retire from the IPL so that he could play in other leagues. And I think that is the only thing that is holding back the Indians because there's so many people who don't have a central contract, but still they cannot play. And the maximum they can do is county cricket. So that's why you see every year the number of Indians in county cricket is just increasing. Uh, just off topic, but I saw Rahul Chahar played recently. He just went there for a one game
Contract.
signing, and he picked 11 wickets in that game.
Oh, wow.
Got a 8 for as well. So I think that's what the Indians are capable of doing. And he's not even in the top 20 leg spinners in India, and he's done so well. So it just shows.
Yeah. What I always thought was that if a player is not playing for India or the local state associations, meaning if they're just retired from domestic cricket and international cricket, they are free to play anywhere. But I didn't know that IPL retirement was also a criteria. I think, yeah, that stops a lot of players. Yeah, so these were the two main things that he did, but the third thing will beat both of these. He obviously becomes the first Indian player to play in the Big Bash League men's edition, obviously. He joined the Sydney Thunder and he'll be playing from this year onwards. I think it starts in November. So the Big Bash will have a lot more eyeballs now that Ashwin is playing. There are a few interesting players that he'll get to play with at Sydney. I think David Warner is the captain, but they also have the likes of uh, Cameron Bancroft, Sam Billings, Lockie Ferguson, Sam Constas, Daniel Sams, and Shadab Khan. So it's a very interesting team, and I think the drafts are still coming in, so there might be a few more additions to this.
Yeah, it's very exciting to see an Indian play in Big Bash League. I didn't expect Ashwin to be that player, but
Yeah.
this is where life has taken him, so you have to embrace it. It's going to be surely Big Bash League will get a lot more eyeballs with just one signing, and they'll come to know the power of Indian audience.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll keep an eye on that whenever it starts, sometime in November. But apart from that, I think that's everything that we had to cover in this podcast. Any last thoughts and any more cricket events that are coming up that we didn't cover?
Yeah, not any event, but I had a very interesting small game for you.
Oh,
It is related to cricket, and it is there are about wait just a moment 15, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 27, 28 players in the history of cricket who have scored a century in all three formats.
only 28. Oh,
Yes, so I want you to try and guess them. I'll give
okay,
you a country wise breakdown.
okay.
So you can start with India, they have the most, then it's five.
Let's see if I can guess all these five. I think Rohit Sharma, no, not Surya Kumar Yadav. He hasn't got a Test 100, nor an ODI 100, if I'm not wrong. KL Rahul has to be the second one. Maybe Shreyas Iyer is the third one.
No,
Oh, is Gautam Gambhir on this list?
no, you're missing a very obvious name.
Uh, King Kohli, obviously. Is Shikhar Dhawan on this list?
No, he doesn't have a T20 I100.
Is it Virender Sehwag, maybe? Are these two players former players or they still play for India?
One is currently playing, one is retired.
Currently playing. Sanju Samson? He hasn't played tests, I think. Oh, is it Shubman Gill?
He also has the record of 300s in three formats at the same venue. And he's the only one in the entire world to do that.
That's interesting. And there's a former player. It has to be a top order player. How old uh, or how ago did he play for India?
He retired uh, 5 years ago.
2020. Is it Suresh Raina?
I think 2020 gave it away. He's the only one who retired.
I think he was also the first Indian to score a T20 and a
Yeah,
century.
that too in a World Cup.
So there are
So those were
23
the
other players.
four from Australia.
I think this should be straightforward. Aaron Finch has to be one.
No, he doesn't have a Test 100.
Okay, then Glenn Maxwell,
Yes,
one. David Warner. I think Shane Watson should have this.
three. And the
And number
last one, I
four.
don't think you can guess.
Is he a current player or a past
Yeah,
player?
current.
Do I know the player?
Yes, I
Matthew
can
Wade?
give you a hint. No, close.
Alex Carey?
He's been a thorn in your favorite team's journey.
Travis Head?
Your favorite.
My favorite teams. That's Mumbai or Pune. Dan Christian? No, right? Mitch Marsh. Mitch Marsh actually should have one. I think I'll let you tell me the answer.
Josh Inglis.
Oh, okay.
He scored a 100 on his Test debut He has won in ODIs and he scored a T20 100 versus India in, like, I think 2 days after the World Cup final, the T20 series that
Okay.
happened.
I'm actually surprised that Travis Head or Mitch Marsh don't have this record
Mm.
because I think
Yeah,
both
Mitch
of them
Marsh even, and I thought he would have.
they both have T20 hundreds, but not T20 I hundreds. So yeah, anybody from England,
There are two from England.
this should be fairly easy. Josh Butler has to be one, and
Yes.
maybe Johnny Bairstow is the other. Oh, okay. Is it Harry Brook?
He is notoriously famous for being number one in the rankings in T20s. He used to be.
Number one in T20s. Is he a current England player?
He's not retired, but he doesn't play for England anymore.
Alex Hales? Owen Morgan? Number one in T20s. Ben Stokes? It can't be. I pass.
David Malan.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
There are
I
two
think
from
one,
New Zealand.
but I think from West Indies it has to be Chris Gayle, the only one.
There are two from West Indies also.
I think from New Zealand there's Martin Guptill for sure,
Yes,
and maybe McCallum.
correct.
Okay, so those two are out of the way. From West Indies, is it Sunil Naren?
No.
Marlon Samuels, maybe? Shiv Naren Chandrapal.
T20 he didn't play.
And is this player new or is pretty old?
He's currently in the team and he's one of the ODI greats for them.
And no, it can't be Russell. Carlos Brathwaite?
I'll give you a hint. He has the most ODI hundreds for West Indies.
Suddenly forgotten all their openers or top order batters. Nicholas Puran.
Test cricket, he didn't even play.
Pass. I'm sorry.
I hope.
Oh. I thought Lara would have had more centuries than Hope. But
He just recently overtook him. I think he has now 19 ODI hundreds.
I think from South Africa, AB de Villiers is fixed.
There are two. AB de Villiers is not there.
Oh,
He doesn't have a T20 100.
that's surprising. Is Quinny de Kock one?
Yes.
Is it Hashim Amla? Or... He has a T20 100 though against MI for Punjab.
T20.
So Faf du Plessis then.
Correct. Those are the two. So now you have 3 from Pakistan, 4 from Sri Lanka,
Oh,
2 from Ireland, and 1 each from Bangladesh and Zimbabwe.
for Bangladesh, it has to be Tamim Iqbal.
Correct. He has his T20 100 is versus Oman.
One. Okay, now Sri Lanka has 4. I think Kusal Pereira has to be one. I've seen him play well. I think he smashed India once, if I'm not wrong. Then we
Yeah.
have is Mr. Who was the other opener that they had? Karuna Ratne, maybe? No. Kusal Mendes?
Two of them are uh, very old and have retired.
Okay, I think I know. Is it Kumar Sangakkara?
No.
Mahela Jayawardene?
He's one of them.
Okay, I think. Oh, is it Upul Tharanga maybe? No. I'll pass.
Tilak Ratne Dilshan.
Dilshan, okay. And is the
And
last one Angelo Matthews?
Pathum Nisanga.
Correct, he just scored a T20 100.
He's the reason why this stat was made in the first place. And 3 from Pakistan.
Fakhar Zaman is one. Babar.
Correct.
I think he must have had all 3 against Zimbabwe. Shahid Afridi. Rizwan.
Correct.
That's 2. Misbah, I know he has no centuries, so It's not even one. Shoaib Malik, that's unlikely. Oh, is it the guy who looked like Kohli? Uh, Muhammad, forgot his
Ahmad.
name. Ahmad Shahzad, yeah.
Yes. And now two from Ireland. I
I
think the
think
only
one,
two players you know.
the captain who's been there for so many years. I forgot his name, but is it Porterfield?
No, Paul Sterling
Paul Sterling.
and
And the
Kevin
second
O'Brien.
one, Kevin O'Brien. Yes, famously smashed England once.
And the last one is from Zimbabwe.
Is this Brandon Taylor? Then is it one of the Chigumbura? Sorry, one of the Masakarzas. Sikandar.
Yes.
Nice. That's a very good start.
Yeah. And who do you think will be the next one to enter this list?
That's a very good question because you need to think of all format players. In India, I think it could be not anytime soon, but I think Yashasvi Jaiswal. I think he will eventually get a T20
He
or
has a T20 100. He needs an ODI 100.
that's fairly easy. I think as soon as Rohit retires, it will be Jaiswal and Gill. So Jaiswal is very easy, and I think Travis Head and Mitchell Marsh will also soon have this. I
Maybe
think,
in the next World Cup.
yeah, in India anything can happen. And also, I think I feel Harry Brook is one player who might have this.
He just needs one in T20s.
Who do you think will get this?
I think Ben Duckett is very close. I think he has an ODI and Test 100, and he's likely to get one soon. And I think Ryan Rickelton, he also has a very good chance.
Yeah. So that marks the end of this podcast. 1 hour, 12 minutes. Pretty long for just one topic. But next time, obviously, we'll talk more about maybe tech or Formula One. F1 obviously wouldn't be
Yeah,
this long because Ved will get bored.
that would be a one-sided conversation, I believe. But cricket does bring the chattiest versions of ourselves out.
Yeah,
So it was really fun to sit down and talk about cricket like this.
I'm actually very excited for the upcoming IPL season because first we will have the retentions and we can have. I think we'll need to have two podcasts discussing 5 teams in one. Then we'll have the IPL auction, and then ultimately we'll have the T20 World Cup. We also have India South Africa, and then the IPL as well. So a lot of cricket upcoming now. So that's a good thing for us.
Yeah, cricket is our heart, and it is always going to be my heart.
All right. So with that, let's end this podcast. Any final thoughts for the viewers?
Yeah, if you enjoy our shorts, which I know that you do because you at least watch them much more than a podcast, I would like to just suggest you that our entire podcast is as good as the short. So do
Imagine having 12 shots one after the other. That's our podcast essentially.
yeah. So if you liked our shorts, then do check out our podcast. I think you'll enjoy it. So that is my only message, and hopefully I turn this message into a short so it reaches more people.
Yeah.
So that is what I would like to say.
Yeah, I also have the same thoughts. Obviously, if you like our podcast, try to leave a feedback or something that you like so that we can improve or we can at least feel happy that someone is listening to us and care to share their opinion. So, with that, let's end the podcast.
Yes, so this is Ved signing off for this week.
And I'm saying bye.
Yeah.